Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. I'm going to be casting two games for you today between Root Catz and Mouse's MaNa. Now I know this says Mouse Nova, but it is MaNa playing on Nova's account, so just so you know, FYI, this is a Protoss for Zerg here on Lost Temple. Looking forward to this matchup, looking forward to this game. I have also casted a strategy video that was posted earlier in the day. It was a Tyrant strategy video, so if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do so. It's a 1-1-1 with a bunker contain against Protoss. Pretty solid build. I enjoy it, and yeah, let's get right into this game. Nothing too exciting in the very beginning stages of the matchup, of course. It looks like we're going to be seeing MaNa move down, but no, deciding not to. I'm going to be placing the pylon at the top of his ramp. I'm obviously assuming that he was considering going for a fast expansion and was going to place his pylon over here to put his frontal wall in this position, but deciding later on not to do so, and then going ahead and putting that pylon right up top. He's going to be able to put his production buildings up here and have the wall off at this ramp. Now over inside of Catz base, nothing so far. Going to be seeing either that supply, no, not that supply deep. We're going to be seeing either that spawning pool or that expansion, and it looks like it is going to be that expansion. So moving down right now to his expansion and going to be dropping it. No, he is not. So what the F and A is going on? Deciding not to, but instead just moving down that scout in order to move inside of MaNa's base and see precisely what he's doing. He wants to check for any early pressure or anything of the sort, and then the expansion should be coming soon. There we go. So moving down for the expansion right now and moving into the corner, moving away from that probe, so the probe doesn't see that expansion going down, and he won't be able to go down to try to stop it from happening. And basically that was a pretty solid move there. What he did was, instead of passing the probe directly, which would have made the probe do an about face to try to get a pylon down at the expansion, he circumvented him, and then once he passed and was safe to do so, he went ahead and dropped it. But we're still going to be seeing some harass right now from MaNa. MaNa dropping down that pylon, probably going to be seeing some sort of cannon harass, but probably not, because there is no forge up, so no cannon harass going to be going down, just placing that pylon in the corner over there. Not sure what exactly his intentions are, deciding to cancel it, so just kind of trying to be a nuisance at that point. Yeah, but with no forge, he wasn't really going to do much with that. But I guess the thing to consider too is that Catz didn't know that there wasn't a forge, and that did force him to pull drones off the line and stop mining, at least for a moment. So actually pretty clever play there for MaNa. I am pretty impressed with that, to be honest with you, because again, you know, Catz wasn't aware that there was no forge, so for all he knew that there were going to be cannons going down, and that forced him to pull drones off the line and stop mining for that time. So good job there by MaNa. I'm going to call him Nova, I swear to God, at least once this game. Getting that second assimilator saturated right now, and nothing too heavy as of yet. Coming in with that warp gate research right now. We don't have any units on the board at this point though for MaNa, so MaNa not starting out with that early zealot quite yet. He knows there isn't any pressure coming quite this early because of the fact that there was that quick expansion that went down for Catz. And now Catz does have that spawning pool up. Is he going to be getting some research? Not quite yet. He doesn't have the resources necessary. He doesn't have that Vespian necessary to get that metabolic boost at the moment. We'll be getting it as soon as he can afford it though. Secondary scout moving forward right now for Nova, for MaNa. See, I told you I was going to do that. Secondary scout moving forward for MaNa, and he did have a phone call, so had to take that before continuing the game. That's pretty hilarious. This is from the TL Open, so I think that's kind of funny that he took a phone call in the middle of that. Zerglin's going to be trying to chase down this probe right now. If he goes on the creep, he's going to be able to catch up to him, but no, actually turning around and deciding not to do that. And did we have more issues? Wow, so there was an additional pause there for some other reason. MaNa really trying to throw Catz off his game here with all of those pauses. That's pretty hilarious there. So anyways, back inside of his base, what is going on? We are seeing that Twilight Council up. We might be seeing some Blink Stalkers. That may very well be what he's doing. Going to be placing a pylon here at the edge of his base as well. Now for Catz, he does have this expansion up and starting to get that saturated. One queen over here, a queen in the main as well. And just going to be macroing up at this point. You can see he was taking some drones off of the extractor for the moment so they could get those extra resources to drone up a little bit harder. We see a bunch of drones coming out right now. Also a third queen on the way, and the metabolic boost is just about finished. Now again, we are seeing those Blink Stalker research coming in right now, and he's going to be going 3-gate Blink Stalker. Wonder if he's going to try to put down a 4th gate. I don't think he can really afford that. Typically what you're going to see is if someone goes for Blink Stalkers this early in the game, it is a 3-gate Blink Stalker, and you see using that energy to chrono boost it out. Wants to get those Blink Stalkers out sometime in the near future, and a few more Stalkers being warped in right now, and just about finished there. So we might be seeing some harass in the very near future from MaNa. Catz coming down with the Spine Crawler, getting ready to deal with any sort of harassment. Also going to be putting his Overlords in a nice safe position. I think at this point he is worried about some Phoenix play. Phoenix is on the board, makes it very, very difficult as Zerg to have your Overlords spread out because they're just so effective at taking them out very quickly. So keeping them there in a safe position, going to allow the Queens to help with that. But obviously, as we know, there are no Phoenixes, and Blink is finished. Stalkers warped in, and here we go. We're going to be seeing some harassment right now from MaNa, moving down with those Stalkers. Going to be grabbing that Xel'Naga tower real quick and then moving into the base. Now, he's going to really need vision of the high ground to fully abuse those Blink Stalkers, but for the time being, he can do some Stalker peeling and just try to harass as much as possible. Going to be target firing this Queen. Queen does happen to go down. Going to be moving in, trying to take out the second Queen. Is going to want to peel back those Stalkers when they get low. There we go. So peeling back the Stalkers from that spine crawler damage. Another Stalker being peeled back right now, and this one may drop, but no, the Queen's trying to chase too far and does lose a second Queen. No, not quite yet. Yes, it does. So second Queen goes down. Going to be forced to pull down the probes right now to help with his engagement. We can see at the moment Catz is coming out with 12 Zerglings, so going to be able to pull this off very, very quickly. He's going to be able to fend this back. This one Queen over here in the back doesn't want to lose that. He's already lost 2 Queens, and that's pretty big. It's going to really hurt his Inject Larva ability. Now, Zergling is going to be moving forward right now with those drones, trying to get us around, but some good peeling right now from MaNa. Going to be taking back those damaged Stalkers, trying to keep them alive and let them recharge their shields in the back. Full surround. That Stalker does drop, but no, actually blinked back right there. 2 Stalkers right there. Both of them blink back, and some great Stalker peeling right there from MaNa. Going to lose these Stalkers right now, but no, doesn't have enough Zerglings, and more Zerglings moving forward, so is in danger of losing these Stalkers. Just use those blinks, so they are still on cooldown. As soon as it finishes, he's going to want to try to blink away, and the Zerglings very close, but more Stalkers coming in right now, so really committed to the Stalker push right now. MaNa is doing all he can to do a bunch of damage right now, but you know, so far Catz has actually done a pretty good job of fending it off. He really hasn't taken too much economic damage, and he does have this Hydralisk Den out, so we may be seeing Hydralisk come out at some point. Hydras do a ton of damage. They do a ton of damage to these Stalkers. Now, again, with the blink peeling, it makes it a little less effective, but man, I tell you, MaNa is really into this right now. You see, he's still on these 3 gates. He's just been pumping out resources right now. He's been pumping out units. His resources are staying pretty low, except for that Vespian. That is kind of climbing up there, but is nowhere near getting expansion at this point. He's going to want to think about doing that sometime soon. A few more Zealots in here, going to help this engagement. Going to help do a little bit better against those Zerglings. Those surrounds won't be nearly as effective with the Zealots on the board, and again, that Stalker peeling, keeping the damaged ones in the back, doing a pretty good job. Some drones moving forward again to try to push off this attack. Zealots continuing to engage, and I don't know, I mean, Catz is doing a fairly good job. He is taking some losses, but you have to realize again that MaNa is still on 1 base. MaNa still has not expanded, and he's really been committed to this attack. Drones coming forward again. Zerglings moving forward for a surround. Some more Blink Stalker peeling, doing a great job. As always, these 2 Zealots still alive, done a ton of damage. These Zealots have been alive for way too long, personally. And some more drones moving down. Second Queen going to be moving down as well, trying to deal with some more Zealots coming forward. And I tell you, man, super committed. But here we go. 8 Hydralisks on the way, and this may change things right here. Hydra's going to be moving forward, and like I said, tons of damage to those Stalkers. They're going to be dropping those Zealots pretty quickly and going to be target firing the Stalkers to try to drop them before they even have the chance to blink back. A nice transfuse going down, keeping up his units quite a bit longer, but there are a lot of Stalkers right now. I'm not sure if these Hydralisks are going to be enough at this point. 1 Stalker going down, a few more drones moving forward. Lots of drones have been lost so far for Catz. Hydralisks doing what they can for damage right now. Queen still picking off units, only 1 kill, but lots of assists. I guarantee I want an assist tab here for these units because that Queen has definitely helped out, and Stalkers are pushed back right now. And the Stalkers have been pushed back for the time being, but I tell you, like I've said before, MaNa still has not expanded, still not even at the resources to be able to expand, maybe considering dropping that soon. And even though Catz has taken a lot of damage economically to this expansion, he's lost many of the drones that he did have, he still hasn't lost the expansion. He still does have some mining going on, and again, no expansion for MaNa, and that's a problem because his resources are starting to get low. He obviously still has all of his patches here, and they're not completely empty, but they're starting to get low, and this is going to become a real big problem for him as the game progresses on. Some more Hydralisks coming out, and I think that with this next batch of Hydralisks plus all of these Zerglings, he's going to be fine against this push. MaNa still engaging. He don't think he knows the amount of Hydralisks that are going to be coming out in any moment now, and this is going to be a big problem. Zerglings moving forward to get us around. Stalker still blinking back, but not nearly as effective right now with those Hydralisks on the board. It makes it much harder because the Stalkers drop so quickly with those Hydralisks doing damage to them. You can see that Zealot just drops very, very quickly. More Hydralisks moving forward, and a good job by Catz on this creep spread, and this is going to allow him to catch up to those Stalkers much more easily with those Zerglings and the Hydralisks. Hydralisks feeling pretty brave right now. Going going to keep pushing forward, seeing what they can do. And I think he does want to check the expansion, and expansion has been checked. He knows right now that there is still no expansion right now for MaNa. And again, like I said, big problem. I'm going to work to resaturate this right now. Some more drones on the way out. And yeah, huge advantage at this point for Catz. Basically, I mean, MaNa really had to take out this expansion, and he wasn't able to do so. Catz did everything in his power to stop that from happening. And as such, again, like I said, still having this expansion, still having some mining over here, puts him at a real advantage. Hydralis is going to be moving forward with those Zerglings to engage those Stalkers. Stalkers shooting from the high ground, going to make it a little more difficult to engage over here. He's going to want to hug the edge like he is and then push in from the front. I'm going to send in the Zerglings to get vision of the high ground and then likely use the Hydralis, but no, deciding to keep them at bay for the moment. Does have to worry about some Stalkers blinking down and trying to pick them off, and that's what's going to be happening right now. Stalkers blinking down, trying to pick them off. Zergling's going to take advantage of Blink being on cooldown, trying to get a surround right now. Moving forward, again, Hydralis trying to engage, but they're too slow. They weren't able to get in range right there. I wonder if he has that range upgrade at this point. Yes, he does. So he does have the upgrade to the range, but still they are so slow that they aren't able to really catch up to those Blink Stalkers. Off creep, Hydralis are just painfully slow. But again, still on one base, and a Dark Shrine coming down right now. Now MaNa knows at this point he's going to have a tough time expanding with the amount of Zerglings that may be on the board, and because of that, he's trying to take the advantage by the tech and trying to really take Catz off guard and maybe try to do some damage to his economy, or even just mop up. Zerglings moving down on these Blink Stalkers. So many Hydralis right now doing tons of damage. Zerglings dropping very quickly. Hydralis going to do what they can, but the Blink Stalker peeling is definitely going to make this tougher. Two more Zerglings moving forward to help with the fight, doing everything they can. Stalkers blinking up to the high ground and going to be shooing off this push right now. Stalkers trying to move down to do some more damages. Hydralis may get dropped quickly, and yes, it does. Blink Stalkers moving down, going to be picking off those Hydralis, and even though it seems like MaNa is winning a lot of these engagements, for the most part, he's losing the economic war. I know I said it like 10 times already, but it makes such a big difference. Again, we still have this expansion up and still nothing right now for MaNa. And so again, I'm pretty sure at this point, you know, Catz is feeling fairly comfortable. He knows that there is no expansion right now for MaNa, and he knows that being still on one base, that he does have that big advantage there. Going to continue to spread this creep as well, but no, actually doesn't have any more creep tumors to spread at this point. And honestly, I mean, Catz is going to be pretty safe if he just kind of hangs out outside of MaNa's base and tries to stop him from expanding. If he can do that, I feel like he's fairly comfortable in the fact that he's probably going to take a victory there. Now, we should have some DT being warped in, I would imagine. Yes, we do have 3 DT on the board, and it's just a matter at this point of me finding them. Where are they? There they are. So 3 DT right now, and going to be warping in 3 more DT. So going to be trying to take this army down very quickly by surprise. Going to want to move in one big group, and I think he sees them right now. I think he sees the bird vision. There we go. So coming down with that Overseer is going to be able to take them out very quickly. Hydralis drop DT very quickly. Going to be very hard for him to get away. It's tough for him to stay out of the vision here of this Overseer, because the Overseer can catch up with 1.69 speed as opposed to that 1.88 speed. So the Overseer is faster, and there really is, unless he splits them up like he's doing here, there really is no way for him to get away. As long as he just follows that bended light, he's going to be able to catch up no problem. Being a little mischievous there by switching direction, but no, it does end up getting dropped to there by those Hydralis, and trying to buy time with that DT push, even though he didn't do any damage, just trying to lure the units away and buy time for this expansion. We're going to see, though, it doesn't look like he has quite enough force right now. Lots and lots of Hydralis moving forward, keeping that Overseer with him just in case there are any more DT as well, blinking to the high ground, and this expansion is going to drop, and I'm pretty sure at this point we can go ahead and call the game. MaNa not being able to get up an expansion for so long, even though his aggressive push did do a lot of damage economically, he didn't take out the expansion, and that's really the end of the game for him. So Hydralis shooing off those Stalkers that are here, and actually he may not drop the expansion quite yet. Stalkers peeling back, continuing to blink. I want to see a little more saturation go down for Catz. He can really take advantage of this, and right now he knows at this point MaNa does go ahead and call a good game, because he realizes it's over. Being so far into the game, 18 minutes into the game, and still not having expanded, he realizes there's really no way that he can deal with Catz. Catz is just going to be able to constantly stream in units, and eventually will whittle down what MaNa has. So good game between these two players. We do have one more game, a very short one. So definitely a good game between these two players. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Keep watching and keep owning.